Now, my goodness, guys, there are so many important wrestling news stories and rumors to share with you guys today. And we'll start off the video with some major news regarding Alexa Bliss's status with WWE following her shock Royal Rumble return this past weekend. And no doubt there's been a lot of fan speculation regarding Alexa's contract situation, because obviously fans would be disappointed if Bliss's Royal Rumble return was going to be a one-night-only kind of thing, but thankfully that's clearly not the case. According to one of our sources, Alexa Bliss and WWE worked out a brand new 5-year contract for the former multi-time women's champion, which means Bliss is going to be sticking around in WWE long-term, which is honestly amazing news. And apparently this deal Bliss signed was literally on the day of the Royal Rumble, meaning her return was truly something that came together at the very last second. And we have been told that Alexa Bliss will be featured on the Raw on Netflix brand moving forward, meaning that the company aren't planning for her to be involved with the Wyatt Six storyline at this point, as they were recently transferred over from Raw to SmackDown. For any wrestling fans who believe the whole Drew McIntyre Royal Rumble story is some kind of a work, the news regarding Drew coming out of last night's episode of Raw indicates that Drew's frustrations are very much real. And the story we're obviously referring to is the rumor that Drew McIntyre was reportedly furious and vocally expressed his frustrations backstage after his elimination spot from the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble was in a sense ruined due to LA Knight and Logan Paul getting in the way. No doubt most fans would have expected to see Drew McIntyre featured on last night's edition of Raw and air his grievances in a promo, but Drew was mysteriously absent from the entire show. And according to one of our sources, that's because Drew McIntyre was literally pulled off of TV by Triple H and upper WWE management, meaning that any plans of Drew appearing on last night's Raw were canceled, and we've been told this stems from the whole Royal Rumble fiasco. There is now a lot of fan speculation regarding if Drew McIntyre is being punished by Triple H for vocally expressing his frustrations backstage after being eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and if Drew could be dealing with a suspension that we haven't heard about. But one source mentioned that the consensus behind the scenes is that Triple H gave Drew a bit of time off to clear his head from the Royal Rumble incident and told McIntyre that he wouldn't need to appear on Raw, as he's being transferred over to Friday Night SmackDown anyways and will be appearing on SmackDown this Friday to inevitably kickstart the feud that was supposed to get going in a big way at the Royal Rumble with Damian Priest, who had eliminated McIntyre from the match. So again, Drew McIntyre was pulled from Raw this week, but it's not because McIntyre is being punished. He was granted the night off after the frustrations from the Royal Rumble and will be showing up on SmackDown this week. Then with the announcement of Drew being transferred to the blue brand, likely to be made by SmackDown GM Nick Aldis. Now the WWE are faced with a bit of a disastrous situation right now, heading into WrestleMania 41 season, as one of the company's most important stars in Roman Reigns has been written off of television due to some injuries sustained at the 2025 Royal Rumble. If you guys had watched the Raw on Netflix episode last night, then you would have heard the update provided by commentator Michael Cole regarding Roman Reigns' status coming out of the Royal Rumble, with it being revealed that Roman would be gone from WWE and on the sidelines for the foreseeable future. And then later on in the show, Seth Rollins made it clear that Roman's WrestleMania 41 status is now up in the air due to the injuries the OTC sustained at the Royal Rumble, which Rollins took great pride in declaring that he caused these injuries, which have now derailed Roman Reigns' WrestleMania season. While a lot of fans believe the WWE announcing Roman Reigns has suffered injuries from the Royal Rumble is a work to simply write Roman off of television for a while, especially considering how vague WWE were with the injuries Roman sustained in the Rumble match. According to one of our sources, Roman Reigns is legit hurt and banged up coming out of the Royal Rumble, and his status for WrestleMania this year is legitimately in question right now behind the scenes. And we have been told that doctors are still assessing the extent of Roman's injuries right now, but one source noted that Roman is reportedly dealing with a shoulder and rib injury. We have heard Triple H is beyond stressed out now because they're still waiting on the news of how bad Roman's injury is, but at the very least, the OTC will likely be missing the upcoming Elimination Chamber 2025 premium live event, as he won't be cleared to compete by that time, we have been told. And that's providing Roman's injuries aren't overly serious, because if they are, he would not only be missing Elimination Chamber, but WrestleMania 41 as well. The fact that Roman is legitimately hurt has caused a bit of chaos in creative right now, as they are now scrambling to figure out how they will change the plans they had in place for WrestleMania if Roman is forced to miss the Showcase of the Immortals this year. Obviously, Triple H is hoping that Roman's injuries are minor enough that he can return for WrestleMania, but the plans would still need to be tweaked a bit, as Roman was originally planned to be a part of Elimination Chamber on March 1st. Now, if we're going to be honest here, guys, Charlotte Flair's return to Raw on Netflix last night after winning the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match was a bit of a disaster, as her promo was all over the place, and fans certainly weren't giving Flair the "you deserve it" chance like they were for main event Jey Uso earlier in the show. It was the complete opposite. It almost seemed like the WWE were planning for Charlotte Flair to return as a babyface, as the beginning parts of her promo screamed babyface as she was saying how much she loved the fans and how tough the past year has been for her. But as soon as the crowd made their feelings about Charlotte clear, with Flair being booed when she was delivering the babyface promo stuff, things awkwardly shifted to Charlotte cutting a heel promo. So it seemed like Flair was making adjustments on the fly in her segment because of the way the crowd reacted to her. And to be honest, if WWE had expected for fans to give Charlotte a hero's reception, where they're cheering for her and being on Flair's side, then it was a bit delusional on Hunter's part, as that was never going to be the case. We hope WWE takes Charlotte's reaction last night on Raw as a clear indication that Charlotte Flair needs to be a full-fledged heel, because the babyface stuff just wasn't working. Kevin Owens certainly didn't take much of a break before returning after the grueling ladder match with Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble, because no doubt we all were convinced that Owens suffered legit injuries after taking that nasty Alabama slam through the ladder in the closing moments of the match, but clearly, KO is built different and returned last night on Raw to blindside attack Sami Zayn, who had just lost an important Elimination Chamber qualifying match to CM Punk. Kevin Owens delivered his vicious package piledriver to Sami Zayn as the show was about to go off the air. The same move that put Randy Orton on the shelf. And for any fans wondering why Owens has turned his attention to Sami Zayn, we have the answers you're looking for. We have been told by one source that the WWE are moving ahead with a Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn feud for WrestleMania 41, now that Owens is finished with Cody Rhodes for the time being. And Owens' attack on Sami last night was the beginning of what is planned to be an intense feud between the two former best friends for the Showcase of the Immortals this year. Sami Zayn may miss a couple of weeks of TV to sell the package piledriver from Owens, but he will be back to get revenge on Kevin for WrestleMania, and this is honestly a great way for Owens and Sami to have a top match for WrestleMania this year, considering neither star planned to be in the title hunt for the time being. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.